too.
How's the foot?
How we doing? It's good old Uncle T, Solomon Tupu here on the air, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Hey, yo.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge me. What it is. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Come on in. Sit down. Episode number 145 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. We're excited because why? It is Royal Rumble season. Episode 145 is going to be mostly all Rumble talk, and we're here for it. And we got the OGs in the building tonight. We got Primo, we got AJ, and Dylan's here with us too. It's going to be a big one. But first of all, how we doing, boys? How's life? Everything really treating you good? You guys staying warm? Any snow that way?
Yeah, of course, snow everywhere. But no, I'm doing good. Rumble season, as you said, my favorite time of year in the wrestling world. Easily my favorite pay-per-view, my favorite of the big four, my favorite pay-per-view overall. I wish I was coming with you guys, but I'm going to have to enjoy it from here.
Boo. I get that you can't walk because you're a cripple and stuff, but that's not really an excuse. Chip, chop, chip. Let's go.
Could have got us better seats, I guess.
Yeah, so just catch everybody up. So Primo, being the big, awesome trooper that he is, he had foot surgery just a couple days ago, and by God, that motherfucker made the podcast. And so thank you. Give yourself some applause. Hit that button, whichever one it is, Primo. So, yeah, for yourself for showing up for the podcast. All the marks, man. So, but yeah. So thanks for showing up. We appreciate it.
Acknowledge me.
Thank you.
This is the wrong
we
button.
acknowledge you for showing. So,
This is not even the right button.
so we appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Yeah, you got one right. Oh, and AJ's back, dude. Welcome back, brother.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back. I hate life and okay, I don't hate okay. I love life. I hate that I've been busy for the past. I'm just shut up. It's good to see you guys.
You don't like adulting.
I don't
Yeah.
like it. Plus,
I
I
get
mean,
it.
look at me now. Like, okay, so this is the first time I've seen myself on camera with like a full beard. I look old as fucking balls. Look at all this. Look at all that gray. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
aging.
You are.
Mm-hmm.
Nice beard though. You got a little blue, a little blue, a little brown, a little gray. You know, your hair's blue. Your
You
women
going
hair now.
abnormal.
It's called salt and pepper, and it's distinguished. Thank you. I am handsome.
Dylan, how you doing, brother? Everything good your way?
Good. We're good. We're good. Fired up. It's Royal Rumble season. The road to WrestleMania. It's the best time of the year, boys.
It is the best time of the year.
Really is. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching on YouTube and Facebook right now. And thanks, everybody, for listening on Apple, Spotify, and all those podcast platforms out there, and SportsWire Radio, all our friends over there. Thank you for checking out the pod, man. It's time, man. We're ready. We got tickets to the Rumble next week, man. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about it, man. It's time to talk Royal Rumble, everybody. So let's get to it. But first, we got to get to the hot start. Primo, if you're ready, man, kick us off in that hot start, brother. Topic number 1, we got to talk about Corey Graves, man. Like, it's a big thing going on right now in wrestling. I think I didn't get a chance to look at Life's a Little Busy, but I think he was on NXT last night as an announcer for the first time. Dylan, did you see this?
Yeah, he was back on this week.
Right.
I kind of had it on in the background, so I didn't really catch if he was saying a bunch of extra stuff or if he was just a normal NXT commentator. But he was definitely back on.
Yeah, so
he didn't look happy, that's for sure.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, basically when Raw moved to Netflix, Pat McAfee got the job on Raw, and Corey Graves not happy about it. You know, he said basically, something on Twitter. A lot of people thought like he'd probably say something to get fired, but I feel for him, man. If we look at it this way, it's a guy that's, injured, and then decided to, try to work as an announcer and turned out to be a pretty damn good one, I think so, in my personal opinion. I love him as a commentator. And then, like I said, time for the big dance on, Netflix. And then, you're told that, you're not popular enough as this guy from ESPN, so, but, there's a lot of people, with speculation that it might be a work because, he's talked about, not too long ago about dusting off the boots and, coming back to wrestling. So, it's interesting, man. Like, honestly, everybody's like, I don't know. I believe it really happened. Like, I really do honestly believe it really happened. I think he was probably pissed about it. And, figured, that's what they do, when your bosses and everybody, you don't get what you want, they tell you to kind of screw it, but, I mean, some say he did it to possibly get fired, but I mean, they didn't fire him. So, yeah, I don't know, but it's kind of, I always like beef inside of wrestling that's just random. That who would have thought like two announcers were going to go at it? I'm sure we've seen it before, but so
maybe they're setting up a match for Pat McAfee and Corey Graves at WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe it's a work shoot. I
mean, they're definitely not. He got demoted. He totally got demoted, which is sad because I love Corey Graves.
And there's no other 3-team broadcast team. So.
No, I actually specifically somebody who talked about the 3-team broadcast team was Coach, and him and Corey didn't get along.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it feels like it could have been real.
Right.
It's hard to say. We could have worked ourselves into a shoot. Who knows? But either way, he was back on Netflix, and if he was reprimanded, none of us will know.
Right.
No, and they had been doing 3-team on at least Raw or SmackDown, if not both, for a long time.
Right.
I like the 2-team, the 2-person is so much better. So on one hand, I hate to see Corey not on TV, but on the other, I really like the 2-man booth. So I don't know. It might be one of those shoots that get turned into a work. Not everybody's all on it, so we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. All right, boys. Topic number 2. As Michael Cole said, the worst kept secret in wrestling. Penta makes his debut in WWE. I have to admit, man, like when he comes out, like I feel like I haven't had one of these goosebump feeling debuts since I'm always in search of the way I felt when the Wyatt family debuted on Raw. That is the last time I felt like I really was like I've had goosebumps and just like super pumped about somebody being, coming, onto Raw or SmackDown or whatever. But, so what do you guys think, man, about Penta's debut, man? This was a pretty big deal.
It's Penta. So, I mean, if you're a Penta fan, awesome.
Yeah.
It is. I'm not necessarily a Penta. I don't dislike Penta, but I was just like, there he is. Cero Miedo. Yeah, take off your gloves.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Cool. I love him. He's my favorite. Him and Sammy is my favorite indie feud of all time, in the independent wrestling feud of all time.
I look forward to where kind of the shine of him dulls down and he just flounders in the mid card for the rest of his career, like anyone else cool that comes into WWE. So yeah, yay Penta. Losing.
So yeah, I also like DB, am a big fan of Penta and was super hyped. I mean, I was going nuts with my brother in the chat. So we were hyped. A lot of people were saying his theme song was generic. Who cares? It was his first day, guys. Relax. So other than that, and we're also saying he was, botching stuff there at the beginning of that first match with Gable. Guess what? Is his first fucking 5 minutes in a WWE ring. Yeah. They have to wrestle a certain style. And nerves trying to get to the place you've wanted to get to your whole life. You might be a little nervous, but whatever. He did get on top of that, and they ended up having a great match. Some people shit on it, but I thought it was cool. And overall, as far as what AJ said about him floundering, I hope that doesn't happen. Like it happens to everybody. It happened to Shinsuke. Sure. But even Shinsuke has had a resurgence in this darker persona.
But a resurgence to where? The mid card.
Well, I mean, he's fucking got a title.
Yeah, the mid card title.
Yeah, because they're too busy stroking Gunther, and they're too busy freaking high-fiving Cody Rhodes. So they're not going to give it to Shinsuke right now. Okay, they're too busy with their two poster boys. They can take something off of Gunther, take something off of Boring Rhodes, and then we'll talk. But back to freaking Penta. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant.
That was great.
As far as Penta goes, he remember his Lucha Underground, and he did it kind of in AEW. He brought in that dark Penta gimmick.
I did love that.
He could definitely pull that into WWE.
That'd be awesome. Then I'd be on board.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited, man. Like when that, I love like I absolutely cannot wait for him to come out in the samurai outfit. That's like one of my favorite things about him. And then plus two, I love seeing him do his little strut, that he does, like when he kind of like turns sideways coming down the aisle, and and plus two, I don't know. I got to announce him last February, so I'm a little like, this is like the latest. You know what I mean? So I'm a little like, all right, cool. I'm super happy about that. But
it's your buddy. You should be happy.
Yeah, but I'm excited though. But to kind of see where it comes from here. So topic number 3, the WWE TNA come to a multi-year partnership. This has got to be great for business, right?
Fucking awesome. I love it. I love it so much.
We got snippets here and there from it, from NXT and TNA going back and forth over the last year in 2024 between Jordan Grace, Joe Hendry, the Rascals, and then back and forth. Now we can open that door even bigger. You know what I'm saying? We can finally get that Moose appearance like I've been wanting. So anyway, I think it's great business.
Same. I agree. I wish we would have had it 5 years ago. I wish we would have had it 10 years ago. I wish AJ Styles could have been in the WWE. Well, not in, but 15 years ago when he was like the best thing in the entire universe. Think of how cool a Royal Rumble entrance for AJ Styles would have been in like fucking 2007 or something. Like it would have been amazing. I'm glad we have it now. I'm sad we didn't have it before.
Want me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, you might need to do that.
Okay.
Yes, you are, buddy.
He is back. I see him now.
Yeah, look, there he is.
He's on the stream.
Yeah.
Wait, now he's next to me. Look, there he is.
Just start talking here in a second, Dylan.
Blah, blah, blah.
Go ahead,
Penta.
Okay.
Penta
got
likes
me?
to make
Testing. Penta rolls.
M's.
Yeah.
Zeros.
Yeah.
Still talking. Awkwardly talking because I don't know what to say.
Just
Think of something. Go.
count to 20.
1, 2.
In Spanish, please.
Man, I don't know Spanish.
Por favor.
I know Eddie's Viva la Raza
All right,
and
gotcha.
whatever
All right.
Conan
Yep.
used to say.
All right.
Time hack that for me.
Odele.
Yeah, I will. All right. Hot start topic number 4. Samoa Joe is back. I'm excited. I think this gives AEW a little bit of a shot in the arm. I want to talk about this with you, Dylan, too, especially. It felt like a big return, like when he came back this time. And also, too, we saw the debut of Megan Bayne. That was pretty sweet, too, to see her on. So what do you think about Joe coming back, man? Is this kind of what AEW needs?
Yeah, I was excited to see Joe back. I don't know how much of an impact he makes overall for AEW, just to where AEW is at the moment. Yeah, I left that there for you. Glad you picked that up. But yeah, I was excited to see him back. I had started to miss him, was wondering when he was going to come back. And it looks like we're going to get him and Nick Wayne next week, I think they said. So that'd be pretty good. And yeah, like you said, Megan Bayne showing up. We've seen her a handful of times at Dreamwave. Thrilled that she's going to be on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have been more excited about Megan than I was Joe, to be honest. But happy to see them both.
Right. Yep. And so, so I'm excited for this, man. I feel like AEW needs a little, something else right now, a little somebody else to kind of stand up to Moxley, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited for this. So, all right, topic number 5. I got questions. All right. So, does anybody know where Rusev is? Where's Miro? Where's Rusev? Anybody?
Managing his wife's GoFundMe page. Or not GoFundMe. What's the other one? What's the porn one? OnlyFans. There we go.
Only socks.
Always. I'm lost. All right. Yeah. So I'm just like, is he another one of those guys that's under contract with AEW and they're just kind of letting him sit? Where's Austin? Well, sorry.
I thought he got let go from AEW.
I don't think there was, at least officially. I think he's with the Wardlow and Ricky Starks just sitting there collecting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks is like they took his merch off of their website, right?
It's weird. There's like so many people they're not doing anything with.
It's because they have a bloated roster.
And then what about Austin Theory too? Like, haven't seen him too much. I feel like last time I seen him was whenever Jelly Roll did something with him at SummerSlam. Like other than that, I'm sure he's probably been on somewhere. Just hadn't really picked him up.
We'll see what happened was he Jelly Roll choke slammed Austin Theory.
There we go.
And then you went on like the very next week and buried Jelly Roll.
Right.
So then Austin Theory
Not
can't
him.
show his face.
Right. Yeah. I don't blame him.
Good.
Yeah. Just kind of wondering where he's been lately. So
I miss Rusev.
Yeah, me too, man. And like I was talking to Dylan about this pre-pod is, this time of year, that's when I start watching, like Rumbles, and that kind of stuff. And I'm watching the 2017 Rumble today, and Rusev was on there too, and made me just want to think, man, like it was only that long ago, like he was in WWE.
Day.
Yeah, he was in the League of Nations, I think, around that time. So
Fuck the League of Nations. Let's not talk about that.
Rusev Day got over, and they just did nothing with it. Nothing at all.
It's because Rusev wasn't supposed to be popular.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to buy one of those
dirty
calendars.
foreigner.
You said Rusev Day on every day. It was great.
Yeah.
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 All right, boys, that's going to do it for the hot start. It's time to get to the drop kick discussion. But before we do, let's hear a little word from CJ Esparza.
Yo, this is the most dope CJ Esparza coming to you live with Primo, DB, and AJ on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
All right, it's time to talk about what we're going to talk about today, boys, in the drop kick discussion. It's Royal Rumble talk. So a lot of things we're going to be covering here. We're going to be talking about who we think is going to win. We're going to be talking about who we think surprises is going to be. We're going to be talking about, we're all making picks on who our dark horse picks are going to be. We want to talk about, what's Cena doing in this, in this Rumble this year. Who makes sense as candidates to win, all that kind of stuff. So let's start at the top, boys. Let's start at the one match that has been announced so far, and that's Cody and KO. I'm gonna say I think Cody retains here just because I think there's a lot of there's something going on with KO and Sami Zayn. Like I feel like there's something there to that. You know what I mean? So I'm not quite sure. Is there any chance that Cody loses the belts? Does any of you guys see Cody losing here?
No, I don't think so. I think if they were gonna do it, swap it to KO, they would have done it, a couple months ago, their first match or back at Survivor Series or so. But this close to Mania, I don't see them dropping it to KO.
So it's going to be a ladder match. They're going to put
right
the Winged Eagle and the WWE title up, and whoever gets both wins. But AJ, you're kind of shaking your head. You think KO's winning?
Yeah,
I
do. Like I'm bad at predicting, as everyone here well knows. But
damn it, my Kurt Angle trophy's upstairs.
You shut up about that Kurt Angle trophy. But I can see it. I think that like Primo had his little rant about Cody. He's boring. He's stale. No one cares about him going into Mania. Like they need to change something up, and I think it'd be a perfect opportunity for something new, something fresh. Like I'm sick and tired of these year-long title runs that are so predictably start and end at Mania. Like they need to do something, and this is a perfect opportunity for it. And Gunther's not going to fucking lose, so obviously it's KO. Perfect timing. Do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do actually think there's a shot that Cody drops the belt. Yeah,
clearly I want Cody to lose.
Same.
But do I think he's going to lose? Unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah.
Because they are doing the stupid WrestleMania thing, and Roman held it for 4 years, so Cody might hold it for 2, and it's still shorter. Anyway, blah blah. No, I'm just not the whole long title reign thing. We did it with Roman. We did it with Gunther's IC title reign. that's it. We're done, guys. We can move on to multi champs in 1 year now.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
please. Like,
Right.
I'm so bored with titles only changing hands at Mania. Like that's it. Like the only time they ever
The
change
big
hands.
titles,
So
yeah.
unfortunately, I don't think Cody loses, but that's also because of who I think is going to win the Rumble. So we'll get into that. So
Yeah.
anyway, no, I don't think he did. I think KO, unfortunately. Also, this could be one of two places that somebody returns.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
Oh,
So, so we got tickets to go next week. It's in Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Field, where the Indianapolis Colts play. So obviously, this is going to be a pretty big, massive one. You guys think just kind of throwing it out there, just for fuck's sake, I guess. You think The Rock's going to be in it? Like
No.
you feel like you don't?
No.
I don't think he'll be in the Rumble. I wouldn't be shocked if he showed up at some point in the show, whether
Right.
it's the Cody match or after the Rumble or
Mhm.
what have you. Maybe
Sure.
he comes out at the very beginning and gives everybody a babyface corporate welcome to the Rumble.
Right.
But I think we see him.
Right.
I think so too. Just not in the Rumble at all.
Sure. So let's break it down here for a little bit. Let's start with the women. Who makes sense as candidates to win on the women's side? I'm thinking there's going to be a big return win.
Mhm.
So but who makes sense? Who makes sense? I think
for the win,
One
When
that
we
you
were
did
there.
if Charlotte wins.
right. So
I will
Charlotte,
not be happy.
Becky, I think you got to throw Bianca's name in there.
talking about potential winners.
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
potential candidates. Yeah. Jade Cargill.
I'd be better with Jade Cargill than I would be with Bianca Belair.
I mean, they could finally let Naomi, or what's it? Not just fucking sorry,
Naomi.
Sure. Yeah.
Not you. I was just kidding.
Never you, Naomi.
Get
Fuck
back
off.
out there. Naya, have it.
Oh.
Yeah. I would. Yeah. They could throw Naomi a bone. It's
I just
kind of
took
like
it
but which way do you think y'all go with this? Like, we think they'll use it to make another star, or will they use it to for somebody that's already established, a feud?
Nah.
Somebody like if they come back and Charlotte won. You know what I mean?
Good.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Good.
Like
This is going to be probably one of the most watched Royal Rumbles in the last 5 years.
See, that's why
Right.
I think Becky instead of Charlotte. Charlotte's too divisive. Like, there's so many people like me who are just so fed up with Charlotte and bored with Charlotte.
You haven't got to watch her in like over a year?
Yeah, and I love that.
He hasn't refreshed.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want her to come back. Like, I
Yeah.
think that'll be cool.
You know
But-
what? If we hear fucking Ronda Rousey's music,
Right now, I have never wanted anything more. Just so we can picture you at home,
Yeah.
like wheeling over to your TV. I'm imagining you in a wheelchair, wheeling over to your TV and like hitting it with your cane.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about
That would make me happy.
men's. Who makes sense as candidates for men? We'll say Seth,
yeah.
CM Punk,
right? Drew,
Drew,
Have to throw Cena's name in there.
Cena.
yeah, Cena, yeah, definitely.
Literally, Cena is who I have.
Nakamura.
Cena's going to be. I'm gonna say it right. Cena's going to be one of the last three.
Cena is who I have winning.
They're going to make us
Really?
think one way or the other. Yeah.
What about Roman? No one.
Cena
has,
and Punk are going to be probably final two. Cena,
I
Punk,
can
and
see
Roman final three.
Cena,
Yeah.
Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins will be the last four.
Yeah.
Roman Seth
yeah.
face off. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
What about Randy? What about RKO?
That's so Randy. Either he
no.
shows up at the ladder match or he shows up here.
Yeah, he'll. I hope he shows up in the Rumble because I would pop my nuts off when Randy Orton's music hits. But
Right.
I don't think he's gonna win. They're not gonna make Randy Orton a 3-time winner. Like, there's only one 3-time winner.
One Stone Cold. Yeah.
They're not gonna put Randy. I mean, Randy Orton is a Hall of Famer, but he's not gonna be in that rarefied air. No, of course. not.
Randy
He has no
could be
shot.
one to take the title off Gunther, though.
Eh.
That'd be a good
See, I
loss
think
for
Cena's
Gunther.
gonna take the title off Gunther.
That too. Yeah. Because is he at 16? Is that where?
Yeah, he needs to get 17 to beat fucking Ric Flair.
To beat Flair, right? So that's happening. That's for sure happening.
I just hope it doesn't come at the expense of the Rumble. It'd be like Brock winning when we were there, which also pissed me off.
Yeah. So winner gets to headline WrestleMania in Las Vegas, either Saturday or Sunday.
Night 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's jump into some. Let's jump to some predictions about. I guess we should do our own predictions first, and then we can go back and talk. So we don't really run anything. So let's start with dark horse picks. Let's start with those first. Dylan, let's start with yours for the women. Who you got for dark horse pick?
Okay, dark horse for the women. I'm going with Jordynne Grace as the dark horse. She could fill a surprise role, but I have somebody else in mind for the surprise because we've seen her on NXT. She was in the Rumble last year. It sounds like she's done with TNA, maybe headed to WWE anyway. So I think Jordynne Grace is my dark horse winner. They have, like 2.5 months until Mania. So if they really wanted to push her, she could come in and win the Rumble and then go on to challenge Rhea or Tiffany, either one.
Primo, who's your dark horse pick for women?
What are you just doing?
Why do you keep laughing? AJ gets the giggles every time he
Raquel
just look like a
Rodriguez.
Cheese.
Nice. Okay.
Is my dark horse pick.
Wait, who is it?
I can see that.
Raquel.
I can see that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
She's going to probably have a lot of eliminations or something like that. So yeah. All right, AJ, who you got for the women dark horse pick?
Alexa Bliss.
Ooh,
that's my surprise.
Nice.
My surprise return.
See, she's one of my surprises too, and I can see her coming back and winning the whole thing, a la Ronda Rousey in 2022. Only better because Alexa Bliss is awesome.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. I would not have a problem with that.
I miss Alexa Bliss.
I'm gonna think that they take this opportunity to try to bring somebody up and move somebody up. So I'm gonna go with dark horse pick for women, Cora Jade.
I like that one. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I just feel like they could probably.
That'd be,
I
can see that.
Cora Jade.
Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of makes sense to me. So a little bit, the more I thought about it. So let's jump to dark horse men's. AJ, let's start with you on this one. Dark horse men's pick.
Okay, so even though we mentioned him as one of the contenders, I don't think he actually is, but I think he's a dark horse. Is Seth Rollins? Like, I don't think he has really any real business winning it, but he's been the workhorse of the company for the last 10 years, basically.
Yeah.
He's been the most, minus the injuries, he's been the most reliable. Like, he can do heel, babyface, whatever they need him to do. I think they could give him a second Rumble win and have him fight for some title. I don't know, probably against Cody. That'd be cool.
Sure.
But yeah, Seth Rollins is actually my dark horse.
Take it back from Gunther, make it worth something again.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Primo? Who's your dark horse pick for the men's?
So I actually went like actual dark horse, not one of my potential winners already, but somebody he's been in the scene the past year, definitely. He's held a title. He's lost a title. He's been in feuds. He's currently on the tail end of a feud. And everybody's going to be saying L.A. Knight.
Nice.
I think the moment's passed for L.A. Knight. I think they didn't strike when they could have.
When Iron was hot, yeah.
Yeah, now he's cooled.
Be a chance to remake him, though. Be a chance to remake him. I think have a lot of people on their side.
Whose game is it?
Right. Yeah. He got
you guys don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah, okay.
That's how cool LA Knight has gotten.
My dark horse. We're going extremely dark horse here. The winner of the men's 2025 Royal Rumble.
Arn Anderson.
The guy with the most heat in wrestling. It's the immortal Hulk Hogan, brother.
I think you say Dom Mysterio.
No, I'm kidding. It's not Hulk.
Right.
My dark horse pick is Jacob Fatu. I don't think he should be like one of the favorites with the Cena, Roman, Punk names. But, I mean, there's a path where Fatu wins and they kick Solo out of the new bloodline and we get another bloodline rivalry with The Rock in Fatu's corner. And Fatu challenges Cody with The Rock involved somehow. Like, it's not the best plan for Mania, but it's one I could see them going with as a dark horse there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So for me, man, like I really want to pick Braun Breaker, right? But I think he would probably have to lose the IC title first for that to happen. I just don't see him winning Rumble and having an IC title too. So I think that Randy Orton's going to be the dark horse pick to win this one.
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Roman Reigns has a bigger shot. By the way, none of us even remotely picked Roman Reigns. Like, I love that he.
We still got
the dark horse.
Yeah, not the dark horse. Yeah.
I don't think he's a favorite, like, at all.
No, John Cena's the favorite. John Cena's the betting favorite too. Like Vegas.
I don't think that Roman is even in the discussion for winning the Rumble right now.
He got his chimichanga. Now he can go on with that. So
yeah. All right, Primo, let's start with you on surprises, man. Who is going to be a surprise that we're going to say? Give me your men and women surprise.
I do have a list here, so buckle in. And it has to do with that TNA WWE merger.
Okay.
Will we finally get that Moose entrant into the Royal Rumble? Will we get a little bit of Joe Hendry?
His name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right. Or the Hardys.
Oh. Yeah.
And of course, on the women's side, we could have Jordynne Grace. Of course, I said Randy Orton. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte all returning potentially. Shut up. Alexa! Stop.
Or all Alexa.
You just stole 3 of my dark horses, by the way.
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, that's who I got for my surprises, for my returns.
Yep. Dylan, who you got?
Yeah, so on the men's side, I think like the roster is so big, I don't think we're going to see a whole bunch of surprises. Joe Hendry was the first name on my list. Second name, he's been rumored for a while now. I think Matt Cardona might show up. Maybe, awesome. Possibly. And the third name I really don't think is going to happen, but Tanahashi's retiring next year. If they brought Tanahashi in just to get him in a WWE appearance, that would be cool. With AEW and New Japan relationship, I really don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't either.
This might be like the last chance to get Tanahashi in a ring, so that would be cool. But Matt Cardona is the one I'd pick as my official surprise pick. But and on the women.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
on the women's, like I said, Jordan's my dark horse. I do think Becky's showing up, but my surprise pick, kind of like Primo said, I'm leaning on the TNA partnership here. I think Masha's in the Rumble. She's Knockouts champ.
Yeah.
We've seen Jordan as the champ last year. Last time we went to the Rumble, Mickey showed up as the champ. Mickey James, might have heard of her? There it is.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right.
There it is. But yeah, Masha and Matt Cardona are my surprise picks.
Well, you guys took all mine except for one on the men's side. I mean, obviously, I had Joe Hendry. I didn't have Moose, but my big one, Big E. I think Big E is going to make a fucking appearance, and I will lose my shit if he does.
I mean, yeah, I will too, but I really think he's out.
I don't know. Like they did that thing with the New Day 10th anniversary or whatever anniversary it was, and it was awesome. I can see him doing minimal bumping.
Is that his quiet retirement?
Yeah, I can see him making an appearance just to make the crowd go nuts, and then getting gently like set over the top rope,
ropes,
and then
just
gently
eliminates
lower to
himself.
the ground.
Right.
He comes in and like screws up Kofi's
he gets
big
bushwhacked
deal, and then he climbs over the top himself.
On the women's side, you guys took all of mine. Asuka, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and Masha Slamovich were my 4 surprises that I thought were going to make an appearance. So thanks, assholes.
Yeah, for me, Asuka and Charlotte, but the one that I really think is going to be the big surprise this year, I feel like WWE is in good enough terms with CM Punk. I think this is the year we're going to see AJ Lee.
AJ
I almost
Lee?
said that. I almost said
Yeah.
that.
I just thought there was no chance.
I just feel like it just feels right. It just feels right.
Yeah.
And then for my surprise, like I feel, the same way. Like I feel like it's going to be Cardona this year, which is, I think would be really funny and awesome. Like I think it'd be really cool.
Wait, would they call him Matt Cardona, or would they bring back fucking...
Yeah, I think Zack Ryder's dead. Yeah, I think Zach's dead. I don't think he would want to go back to that if they gave him another shot anyway, maybe. But
I think more people would recognize him as Matt Cardona than would as fucking Zack Ryder. The fact that I couldn't even think of Zack Ryder's name right off the bat is kind of a testament to that.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the meat. Let's talk about who's going to win these things, man. Let's start with the women first. I'll go first on this one, boys. I think we're going to have a big return from Jade Cargill. I think she's going to throw 29 other, whatever over. I don't know what number she's coming in, but this is going to be the start of the push to get her in the rankings. I could see Bianca getting the belt, from Tiffany or something like that, on the way there, and we have Bianca Jade. That would be a big feud. You know what I mean? I think they got time. So my pick is Jade. What about you, Primo? Who's winning the women's?
Oh, yeah. I mentioned this earlier. The Queen.
Charlotte.
Because
that's what I want.
They're still trying to figure out who killed Jade on the hood of that car. So, the Charlotte Flair is going to return and win the Rumble.
I can dig it. That's my girl. AJ, who you got winning it? Women's.
Okay, so I have two. Like, who do I want to win and who do I think will win are two different things. So I want Alexa Bliss to win. Like, I miss Alexa Bliss. I love Alexa Bliss.
That's a great pick.
I really, really want. I think she's been gone long enough, and she's Alexa Bliss. She's fucking awesome.
As long as she doesn't come back for the White Six stuff.
Yeah.
Come back as Alexa Bliss.
Like, not spooky Alexa Bliss, just Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Biscuit Alexa Bliss. Who do I think is going to win? Unfortunately, I think Charlotte Flair is going to win the
Biscuit Bliss. Blisket. There's some I
couldn't think of how to combine it. Alexa Blisket.
I think everybody would know what we're talking about. So, all right, Dylan, who you got winning the women's?
I'm going with Primo here. I think it's going to be Charlotte. Big return, wins the Rumble. And I think we're going to get Charlotte versus Tiffy time at Mania.
Let's go. All right. So let's get down to the meat, boys. The big one, the men's, the go-homer. Who's going to headline WrestleMania? Who wants to go first? Jump in. Anybody?
Cena and Cody.
That's so boring. God.
Yeah, but, that's what the people want. Not me, but people.
Face versus face.
I mean, out of this small sample size,
face versus face. Make one on Hill.
Yeah.
Cena?
This is whenever we need.
Cena.
You want me to be excited about Cody? We need Homelander to come out.
Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Like in the whole get up and everything.
Yeah.
Out of the four, like this is a small sample size, but 50% of us don't want Cena versus Cody, and we'll be horribly bored by it.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Honestly.
See? Dylan, what do you think? Cena versus Cody?
Yeah, I'm going no.
I didn't say I wanted. I said I think what's going to happen.
Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the Royal Rumble, obviously. No, I'm sorry. No, that's not right. It's Finn Balor. My pick every single year. I will never abandon Finn Balor. I don't care how boring.
Well, I can't say AJ Styles this year because he's broken like me. So
yeah.
I originally had Bronson Reed at the top of my list, but he's also broken.
He's also hurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think CM Punk's gonna win.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on the Punk train. Also,
I'll
we haven't
jump
got
in there.
Punk and Gunter. Yeah, we haven't got Punk and Gunter on TV like at all. Like no segment. I think they may have bumped in like once.
Give them a house show in Champaign, Illinois, and call it a day.
Yeah. Punk's getting a belt at Mania. I feel like it just
But which one?
World title, I think probably. I don't think he's taking Cody's.
Well, it's not going to be Cody's at Mania. It's going to be KO's.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. Yeah. So,
I would love that match.
Yeah.
Punk KO, man.
That'd be so awesome.
So Primo thinks Cena's winning. I think he's in the mix at the end. I think he's at the end for 3.
He's the what do they call that? Diversion?
Iron Man.
So Punk, Seth, Cena, last 3. What do you
Iron
think?
Man this year is Dom.
Iron Man this year is CM Punk. He's got
DB, I agree. It's that last. I have the last 4: Punk, Cena, Roman, and Seth.
That's my exact.
It's a solid 4. You might trade out Seth for McIntyre.
Yeah,
or Seth for Logan
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna see the feuds towards the end, like like who's going against each other right now. But I'm excited, man. Primo would be going had he not had to have foot surgery, but we're all 3 going to be there in house.
What a card for you guys to go see.
We're going to be back here just like 2 weeks talking about everything we saw and
wait, DB, who's your pick?
Punk. I jumped in with you guys. Yeah. I'm on with Punk too. Like I said, I think he's definitely getting a title. But I'm excited for it. We briefly talked about it on one of the other pods, but next year the Rumble is not going to be on American soil. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia. We talked about. Yeah. The Rumble is ours, man. It's like our Super Bowl, right?
For a second, I thought that was like Davari's entrance music.
What's crazy to me is like I'm more okay with them taking Mania over there than I am Rumble.
Yeah, I'm just like we said at the top of the show. It's my favorite time. My favorite pay-per-view. Really, in all of us, most wrestling fans that love Royal Rumble. So
it's by far our favorite. Not just like it edges out Mania a little bit. No, it's like hands down the best.
Right. And so more incentive for us to go this year. Cena's last Rumble, and Indianapolis being somewhat close to all of us except for Primo. But so
who's lame? Get it, lame like a horse. Because
WrestleMania's, WWE is supposed to announce. I think it's either this weekend or during football that football that it's going to be in New Orleans again. It's going to be in New Orleans again. So that's supposed to be coming up soon. But some early 2027 location rumors for the Royal Rumble. All of these are back on American soil, so just kind of want you to give an idea. The New York, the Garden's back in the mix. They're talking about Seattle.
Okay.
And they're talking about Jerry World, Dallas.
This is for the Rumble?
Rumble in 2027. Yeah.
I feel like Dallas is more of a Mania town than a Rumble.
Because what I've read before is like they're going to do this in over Saudi Arabia, and then when they come back, it's going to be it's going to have to be a massive one back over here again. So
I can't believe they're doing it in Saudi Arabia. That's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Exactly. I'm loving that, man. So, all right. So there it is. Our Royal Rumble predictions, surprises, dark horse picks, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you guys come back and join us here in about 2 weeks when we talk about how wrong we were probably.
Right.
About everything. So,
I liked when we used to draw the number, and then whoever got the number was the champ.
We did.
Usually it was me.
Yeah. Yep. And just quick little notes from the chat.
Not usually, it was always you.
Dark horses is Logan Paul, AJ Lee for the women. So there's some
Gilbert.
Yeah, some predictions from the chat. So all right, thanks everybody. We're gonna hop on over here now. It's about time to go home here, Primo. But first, let's hear a word from SportsWire Radio.
Looking for all the latest happenings in the world of sports and wrestling? Well, you're in luck because SportsWire Radio has you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. With great shows in the world of sports, such as the Pinstripe Chronicles, hosted by Uncle Tats, Donald Stewart, and Rob Barrows. New York Baseball Talk with Chris Bazaya and Rob Maraska. The Liftoff Jets, also hosted by Chris Bazaya and Sharman Phillip. Neil Villapiano and the Devil's State of Mind. Randy Dillon's Hockey Fan. fan chat. In the world of wrestling, SportsWire Radio has you covered with Squared Circle Radio, featuring Chris Belcher, Andy York, and Jared Justice. Those sit-down marks with DB, Primo, AJ, and Michael. A work in progress, featuring the Mayor of Canton, Piles, and Glenn Abbott. You can catch all of these great shows and more anytime, anywhere, and any place via the Listen Live button on SportsWireRadio.org, and you can also catch SportsWire Radio anytime on YouTube at SportsWire Radio 6579 to catch all the latest happenings in the world of wrestling. SportsWire Radio has you covered. It's all sports matters and all wrestling matters here on SportsWire Radio. I am your host, the owner of SportsWire Radio, the #1 global radio station, the owner of the Promo Wrestling Federation, and one of the owners of the Pride Wrestling Federation, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters, the Reverend Tom Bryce.
Thanks, Reverend.
I want to thank everybody listening on SportsWire Radio, and I also want to thank everybody listening on Apple, Spotify, and all those podcast platforms out there. And thanks everybody for checking us out tonight on YouTube and Facebook. Dylan, me and you both went to a little wrestling last weekend, man. What'd you go check out?
So I drove down to Evansville, Indiana to check out Hooligan Championship Wrestling.
Nice.
Was not very familiar with it at all, but I was very impressed with their operation down there. They did, so it was one show, but they did 2 tapings across the show.
Gotcha.
So split it up, like a taping intermission and a taping. Big crowd. They had people coming in like, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes after bell time. They still had people coming in. We're still pulling out chairs. Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty decent little show.
Nice. I went to Defiant Pro Wrestling in DeWitt, Illinois, last Sunday. Ran into a lot of friends there, seen a lot of people I know. Alfonso Gonzalez was on the card. Really cool card. Really cool venue, man. It's my first time checking them out. But our good buddy of the podcast, Gunner Brave, is he's the booker there, and so I want to go check it out and had a good time, man. Looks like they do shows every couple months on Sundays, and I think the next show's coming up in March. So this was their 2-year anniversary show. So we had a good time. So shout out to Defiant. We'll definitely go check those guys out again. But Dylan, what's coming up this weekend, man? I know your preview is out for the weekend. So what are the big indie shows coming up?
Yes, sir. Preview went live just a little bit before we started recording tonight. You can check
Tell everybody where
out on
that
my
is
Twitter.
again. Yeah,
it is on Twitter. If you're watching, you can see it on the screen. If you're listening, that is at D Hager, DHAGER, J15. It's pinned at the top of the page there. This week we're talking GCW over in the UK. Both Action Wrestling and Freelance have their first shows of the year on Friday night.
Danhausen's at Freelance, isn't he?
Danhausen's at Freelance, challenging Alfonso Gonzalez. Just
nice.
Challenging him for the title. Got Shaza and Laney up at Freelance. And then talking a little bit about Deadlock Pro. They have a show coming up on Sunday. They got a bunch of buzz around them right now. Jake Something versus Calvin Tankman, last man standing for the gold. Looks like a pretty big show for them also.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have any shows this weekend. Next weekend is Rumble, and then the Saturday after that is we're back to Dreamwave, man. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll be talking to that later on. Want to remind everybody to follow at Sit Down Marks on all those social media platforms out there, Facebook, Instagram, at DB on the mic. And also, if you're checking us out on YouTube right now, give us a follow, subscribe. Appreciate it, man. We'd love for you guys to check us out each and every week. Like I said, next week we're going to be at the Rumble, so we're all excited about that, man, and excited to get going to Indianapolis. So, but before we go home, I want to let you guys know what's coming up in the podcast. Well, like I said, the first week of February, episode number 146 is going to be the Royal Rumble review. So we're going to be talking about everything that we've saw and predictions and all that stuff, see how they turned out for the Rumble. So we're talking about that. And then episode number 147, I'm sitting back down, getting back into my series where I sit down and talk to up and coming independent pro wrestlers. And for this one, on this episode, I'm going to be talking to a guy he's kind of taking over the independent scene. He's got a look like nobody else. and he is the Gentleman Barbarian. Bruce Hamilton is going to be coming on the pod here in just a couple of weeks. And then after that, we're going to be episode number 148. We're going to be talking about the other promotions outside of the top two, outside of WWE and outside of AEW. We're going to be talking about TNA, AAA, CMLL, MLW, NWA, like, what's going on in those promotions, and why should be checking those out. And then episode number 149, if you guys heard me on the last pod, a little Easter egg segment at the very end, I was excited to try to get him on the pod. And I was glad that he answered my text. And just in case you didn't know, there's a guy named Stephen Flo, and he's taking over the independent scene as he's doing like a grunge. He's got a grunge gimmick. He kind of looks a little bit like Eddie Vedder. And we're going to be talking to him about how that came about, and also, he's been a viral sensation. A lot of people have been talking about him. So here, I just want you guys to check out his theme music. All right, so obviously he's taken Even Flow and made it his own, and now he's Stephen Flow. Well, I can tell you this, man. As a kid that grew up in the 90s, I was 16 years old when the Nirvana album and the grunge scene took over. Like, that's my era, man. So as I'm personally excited to talk to him because, I feel like he's kind of talking to me, in my growings up, in the music and stuff. So I'm excited to have Stephen Flo on the pod. So we'll be talking about him later. I want to also let you guys know I'm going to be on the Card Subject to Change podcast next Wednesday. They're going to be doing their Royal Rumble show. So go check those out. Go check out my last interview with Gage and Hunter Holcraft, the Hype, the current Dreamwave Tag Team Champions. Had a cool chat with them. So go check that one out on all those podcast platforms out there. So boys, let's go home on this, man. Like, what's the rating scale? Let's smelly mark this thing. How excited for you are the Rumble? Not only are we going to watch it, we're going to watch it in person. So, that's like a 10 from me. So what about you guys?
10 banana cream pies.
I'm at a
10. 10.
Yeah, I'm at a 10. I can't wait. Hoping we get, another match or two added, maybe after this week's Saturday night show. But I can't wait to be there. It's going to be so fun.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. Primo, how excited are you, brother? Your pain pills kicking
I'm always
in,
at
all
a
right?
10 for the Rumble, but since you guys are going to be there in person and I'm not, let's go with a 9.9.
I mean,
fair.
What foot did you have surgery on? It's not your driving foot.
It's not my driving foot. And I could have got us better seats.
Yes.
True.
That's just terrible.
Yeah.
Come
Bad
on.
friend.
Primo, you're a terrible friend.
Yep.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for being on the pod today, man. It was good to see you guys. I'm excited to talk about the Royal Rumble with you and looking forward to next week. So any parting words before you head out and head off to Indy here pretty soon?
Go Bills.
By the way, Indy, I-N-D-Y. That's for Indianapolis. Independent Wrestling, I-N-D-I-E. There you go.
Yep.
That's for everybody that struggles with that.
Do people struggle with that?
People struggle, yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I never even thought about.
Me neither.
Yeah, people spell independent wrestling I-N-D-Y all the time, and I go, that's in
incorrect.
Indianapolis wrestling. That's not indie wrestling.
Don't you ding that?
There's a lot of people that's going to hear me and go, you're right. There's a lot of people going to hear me and go, yeah, it's being ridiculous. But
Well, guess what? DB's always right. You shut up.
yeah. Thanks everybody watching on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks everybody listening on Apple, Spotify, Audible, all those out there. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in today. For Primo, Dylan, and AJ, we are Top Guys, and we are, say it with me, boys, out.
Out.
So imagine, like, you're back watching, Lucha Underground. This is what I secretly wished for, Penta, his music to come out, and we got a little like Lucha Underground flashback. He comes out with like the all black. That's the Penta I fell in love with right there. That's what got me watching, man. And plus, this fucking song's dope.
I'd be down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was down.
Did he say Cero Miedo?
Now we go home. Thanks for pushing through, Primo.
Yeah, no problem.
The way you were sitting, by the way, you looked like hippie Stephen Hawking because you were like kind of sitting there. I wanted to say something, but I thought
my podcast.
That might be a little insensitive, so I didn't say anything. But at one point, I was like,
I like to.